Anthony Ferraro, Dan Mancina. Two blind guys collide to bring you Four Bad Eyes Podcast.
Anthony, how many times have you went to a website and found that you can't even use it?
Dan, way too many times, and I'll tell you, it is so annoying because it keeps me up at night. Not only websites are inaccessible to the blind, but they're inaccessible to most disabilities. Also, aside from websites, it's the e-commerce store.
You know how many times I've gone to a website, I want to spend some money, I want to buy a t-shirt, a mug, something, because I want to support them, I love them, and I can't because the website doesn't say anything. It's a bunch of images.
It's images that aren't labeled, and it's really frustrating. But did you know there's a solution?
There's a professional that can fix that for you and find a price that'll rip the pants right off of your legs.
It's our newest sponsor, Inclusive Web. And that not only can they find a solution for you, but if you're curious, is my website accessible to the disabled community?
How much is this going to cost me?
Well,
what's the deal? What do I need to do? They have a free offer.
Free offer to check if your website or e-commerce is accessible. And if not, they will help you find a price that works for everyone to get it going.
Inclusive, INCLUSIVE web.co/4badeyes. Tell them again, Anthony.
That's right, Dan. There is no more excuses, ladies and gentlemen. You go to inclusiveweb.co/FOURBADEYES today. Let's get back to it.
Hey, open up that oyster and show me that tea of pearl. That sounded a little grosser than it was supposed to. I meant for it to be like a rare gem, you know?
I like it, Dan. I like it.
Tia Pearl's with us.
Tia Pearl!
Adaptive skater. #1 woman's adaptive skater here.
Out here, baby.
I just drove 16 hours.
This is 4 bad eyes and 2 questionable legs.
4 bad eyes, 2 bad legs.
And 2 dogs.
And 2 dogs in the house.
Delta's like jumping up.
2 service dogs.
We got 2 service dogs. We got Prairie and Delta, but Delta's being a little shiznit.
Is Prairie on the couch over there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's Prairie.
She's sitting up for the podcast.
She's a thoroughbred.
She heard that we were...
We got the #1 women's adaptive skater, everyone. Give it up.
Welcome.
surrounded by 2 rad dads. You guys gonna change the podcast name soon?
2 rad dads. 2 bad dads.
2 bad dads. Hey, off.
Part-time dad.
You sit down.
Don't.
You sit down. Sit down.
Delta's a little jealous of Prairie.
Delta's super jealous. You need to stop. And so you just drove how many hours to get here?
It was 18. I spent like 32 in the car though.
Dang.
What, did you sleep in the car?
Yeah, I got this dope air mattress that like makes the back seat a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, and it's just like...
What kind of car?
I got a Mercedes.
Ooh, a
Benz.
Mercedes.
Is
What?
Is it a Maybach?
No, E350 4MATIC.
Is that a SUV style? Is that a
No, it's a sedan.
sedan 4-door?
All the bells and whistles.
So how does the mattress fit in the back?
It's like there's like this part that fills in where your feet go, and then
Is it
fills in
custom for that, or kind of like a general sedan?
Yeah, it's just a sedan mattress. You can get them on.
Can you stretch your
Amazon.
legs all the way out?
Not all the way, unless you put the front seat down. But
Ooh, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, but you put the front seat down and you're zipping zang.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. You're kind of angled, but
Little benzo.
yeah, I got in a couple good naps, and then all the stops. Then it adds up, and you're like, whoa.
Any sketchy stops?
No, actually, it was like I barely saw anybody. I even I had Prairie's line, and I would just like hook it to the car door and close it, and then she would just be able to wander like 30 feet from the car. It was
Oh,
chill.
nice.
Less walking for me.
Does she like to sleep outside?
Yeah, she loves being outside. So this morning she's like, "Whoa, Mom, it's so nice out. We're staying out here today."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it got pretty hot. She's breathing in the
I
mic.
know, she's huffing and puffing over there. She's on the mic.
Yeah.
Prairie on the mic.
Prairie and Pearl.
Prairie Pearl. Prairie Pearl.
I was hoping you were going to
Pearl.
bring T-Rex.
T-Rex, the famous pig.
The famous pig.
Famous
Tia's got a
pig.
pig, a pet pig.
She's awesome.
A
She
pig-
just doesn't like to be picked up anymore.
Pig,
she's a
Prairie,
little
and
bit
Pearl.
bigger. Yep.
Big.
Actually, Prairie and T-Rex, they literally play fetch and like chase each other.
The
and then they-
pig plays fetch.
Yeah, they like grab a toy and then the one will run and
Is this
put
a
it down and then they'll go. The other one will get it and then they start chasing each other and then it turns into tag.
Is this a teacup pig or a full size pig?
They're called mini pigs, but they actually only stay mini if you don't feed them. So she is getting.
She's getting a
bigger.
little hefty.
But
Do pigs hump like dogs, you know?
no, but she is very intrigued by my cats being in heat right now, and she has this
Oh.
like pigs get a mohawk, a happy mohawk when they're like thrilled. So she'll be putting her snout all up in the cat's business, and then
Yeah.
her mohawk goes straight up. She's like,
She's going
"This
ham.
is our
It's like Otter and
experience."
Delta.
Are you going to eat the pig when it dies?
Never.
No. Just
Do you
bury
eat?
it.
Do you eat pork?
I do not eat pork ever since April 1st when August 1st when I got T-Rex. I have not eaten pork since,
Yeah.
which is
That's-
hard because I used to love ham and bacon and everything.
Ham
Yeah.
hock.
But actually, I started eating beef bacon. It's pretty
Uh-huh.
much
Beef
exactly
bacon.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Until you get a cow.
So
Till
I
you
know,
get a
right?
cow.
Then but it's funny. I eat chicken, but I have
And you
chickens.
have chickens.
Yeah.
When I was in Hawaii, we would be eating like chicken tacos, and there'd be chickens just running around right next to us, and be like, "Sorry, guys."
Yeah, chickens are savages.
Yeah, they'll eat chicken.
They're little.
I
little
feel like
raptors, dude.
it's they're like totally miniature dinosaurs, and I feel like
What chickens?
they're
Yeah, they're
they
savage.
What?
yeah they came straight from the dinos. You know, all dinos had feathers before, right?
No,
Allegedly.
we were talking
That's
about
the new
dinos.
theories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're literally just tiny dinosaurs. that
Anthony hasn't seen Jurassic Park. So.
Yeah, I haven't.
okay,
We went
Isn't that
over.
crazy?
we have to end the podcast now. Sorry, guys. We have a series to watch.
It's like someone who's never tried pizza.
Dude, listen here. We talked about it. The CGI, the
That's like
effects.
great
and-
movie.
My brother said he never saw Beetlejuice, and I was like, "How are you my brother?" And you
Beetlejuice.
Never saw that either.
Actually,
oh
watched
my
that
goodness.
I haven't seen a lot of classic
Okay,
movies.
you guys are coming to the barn, and we're gonna have a
movie night.
Barnyard movie night.
yeah.
I've seen
it's on.
Beetlejuice. I
Pull
saw
down-
Beetlejuice this.
I got
we
a
watched it
projector.
for Halloween.
I was just gonna say we got to pull down the projector and
projector.
sit outside.
Sit
and
outside by the fire. Watch all the Jurassic.
Eat some
Actually,
bacon.
me and my wife just watched all of them. So
Be a projector,
Let's
a
do
pig, a prairie, and a pearl.
Just
That was hard to do. Couldn't get through that one without stumbling.
oh man. So take us back, Tia. Take us back. Where'd you grow up? Where did it all start for you?
I grew up in the suburbs right outside Chicago,
Chi-town.
Gotta go Bears.
and it was pretty cool where I lived. There was kind of all cultures and all things happening, and so
So you had a diverse mix of people.
yep, pretty much anything that you could think of, I was trying, and my parents were super cool about getting me anything that I wanted. So if I wanted rollerblades or Razor scooter or whatever, it was like, well, actually, don't bring
Try
up
it
the
out.
Razor scooter.
don't.
Yeah,
I got grounded from the phone book for a Razor scooter. That's
Wait, what do you mean?
What?
so. Well, the scooter was the one thing that my mom said, like, you're gonna have to raise your own money for that.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, all right, no problem. But I started calling all the toy stores in the phone book like every day to see who had the cheapest one, you know.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Oh,
get the
man.
best deal. My mom was like, all you're doing is spending all your time calling all these stores and asking about scooters. And so I had gotten grounded from the phone book. for that
Grounded
one.
from the phone book. Haven't heard of that one before.
So,
Yeah.
but I did buy the scooter for $65.
Who had the best deal? Who had the best deal?
I found it at, actually, I do remember this. Children's Place was a clothing store for kids in the mall, and they actually had it. They had like just a display of them, and it was $65.
65 bones.
I remember.
I found Kelly a Razor scooter on the street in New York City and gave it to her.
Yes.
Is that the one she still has?
No, I bought her a new one.
So that was pretty rad, but
Shame on you.
that's how I found skateboarding. Kids in my neighborhood, they faced,
Gateway to skateboarding.
Yep, we were blading, and then we were scootering, and then we were all
BMXing?
skating.
A little BMXing out there?
Yeah, I did get I
Dirt
had a
jumps?
couple GTs in my day.
Now, were you in the city when you were a kid, or no?
No,
You're
just the
always
suburbs. Yeah,
How
always
far
the
from the
suburbs.
city? Like 40 minutes?
Yeah, like 40 minutes.
That's what I see. I'm catching on. That's what outside the city means to these suburb folk.
How does it? How rural was it? Was it like? Did you have close neighbors? Or like a straight up like standard suburb with house, cul-de-sac?
Yeah, my dad lived in a subdivision, like that, house, and then my mom lived in an apartment complex. So it was pretty. and then
Subdivision? Is that like project subdivision?
No, subdivision out there is like one of the new neighborhoods that they just make, and they make it in a giant circle with two streets in the middle, you know.
Oh,
Just a
Basic,
bunch of houses,
yeah.
yeah.
And they all look the same.
Cookie cutter.
Different colors, yeah.
Ranches, a couple of ranches out there.
Ranchero.
So did you have like woods around you or anything, or no?
Yeah, we had like a bunch of forest preserves actually right where my mom was. We had a forest preserve right across the street that me and the homies would always go to.
Did you like the house more or apartment more?
That's a good question.
Because I'd imagine the apartment you got a bunch of other kids running around.
Yeah, they both had like same amount of kids, but I honestly just spent more time at my mom's, so I liked that.
Yeah. How was the trick or treating?
Trick or treating was the best living in an apartment, especially because
fill that pillowcase up quick.
yeah, you'd save the complex for last because you'd hit all the houses around it first, you know. And then trick or treating hours would be ending, and you'd go just through all the apartments right at the very end and throw it in the house, you know. That was the move.
Did you always have the nerve damage in your leg?
No, actually, when I started skating when I was a kid, I was perfectly normal skater, regular skater, you know. Took me months to ollie and years to kickflip and all that good stuff. And then when I was 22, I had actually emergency hernia repair. I had a hernia from it had started developing like 3 or 4 years before from stress, but
A stress hernia. I've never heard of this. I've only heard of
from pooping or from lifting.
Stress from
Just stress.
Just stress of life.
Yeah,
What were you stressed out about?
My mom was actually wrongfully accused, and she went to prison.
Dang.
What?
Yeah, and so that was when I was 15 years old. So me and my brother, like, we grew up together, but then we had different dads, so we had to like move out of our house and switch our schools and leave each other, and got separated.
Can I ask what she was wrongly accused of?
She was actually wrongfully accused of first-degree murder.
That's what I was worried to hear.
And funny enough, though, the judge only sentenced her to 20 years, and you'd think first-degree murder, 20 years, that doesn't really match up.
Did they find out that she was not guilty?
Yeah, so about 6-7 years in.
7 years?
Oh
yeah.
My God, it's like the hurricane.
This school, Northwestern Illinois School of Journalism, they actually found something in my mom's case that showed that she was innocent. It was pretty much a letter from the detective of the case to the doctor saying, like, hey, I know you don't think it's shaken baby syndrome, but can you just kind of say it is? Because then we can, arrest this lady.
Whoa.
So the journalism students find this, and then took like 2.5, 3 years for her to get out after that.
It was a baby?
It was a baby, yeah.
Was it? It was not her baby, was it?
No, she worked at a daycare actually, and the baby was
a daycare
sick and already had brain damage before that.
And they said just say it's shaken baby syndrome so they can arrest your mom.
So they could get a murder case.
Yep. So they got a murder case. She spent like 9 years, and I think it was like
going through trial and all that stuff, and then in jail for like 7 years.
9. Yeah.
9.
Almost 10 years.
Because they had to do the whole unraveling of the case 7 years in. That's when they started doing the journalism, right?
Yeah. And so they found that, and then took a few years for her to get out. I actually I wasn't really visiting anymore because I had already had like 2 years before that was when I got my hernia repair, and so I had been had chronic pain ever since. So I really stopped visiting her a lot. And I just happened to go the day that she was released, and it was like one of those crazy things where her lawyer was just like, "Hey, you're getting out today."
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
And so me and my relatives, we took her out to eat and took her home and all that stuff.
How was she messed up after that? Like mentally, like PTSD from all that?
Yeah, it still hasn't gotten better, but she actually just in the fall was exonerated. And which was yeah. So it was crazy. I mean, she served almost half her sentence.
Yeah.
And then she they finally just exonerated her. They wanted to retry her. Actually, they wanted to do an entire.
Oh, what just happened?
Sorry, you're good. Yes.
They wanted to do an entire retrial.
Wow.
But then they ended up
Like
same thing.
Like the family of the kid probably wanted to.
Yeah, they just really wanted to blame someone for their own mistakes.
That's insane. Wait, so how old were you when she went to prison?
So I was 15. My brother was only 8.
So 22 was when you were just finding out that she was. You knew? Did you know she was not like? Did you have any questionable like maybe she did it?
No,
when it first happened.
She had worked with kids my entire life. She worked in youth department at the library and was a nanny and this and that. So it was completely out of her character for them to attack her on this specific topic.
Because she loved kids.
She loved kids. That's all she did. And
that is wild.
Yeah. So then that
Just
changed everything.
Ruined her whole life.
And ruined everyone's life. My brother, he had serious suicide and cutting issues after that for his entire teen years. And
understandable.
I moved 10 times until I was 21, and I had the hernia develop because of stress from that. And went to 3 high schools. Ended up graduating early. Was just like, I got to get out of here. I got to be done with this.
You just took the tests and got out?
No, I actually literally graduated from my high school early a whole semester.
Because of credits and stuff?
Yeah, I had taken...
So you focused a lot into school?
Yeah, I just was like, all right, I have to have some success come out of this nightmare, you know?
That is insane.
Did they give any kind of, like, money payback? Any,
what happens?
Does the system do anything for you when you get exonerated?
So the state is legally obligated to give her some kind of financial settlement.
Yeah.
But we also hired one of the best attorneys in the city of Chicago to represent her, and they've won like millions for, the homeless guy that got hit by the bus and this and that. So they're just like, they have this great reputation for cases like that, and they do get a percentage, but they want to
they want to get the most, obviously, so they get a bigger percentage.
Because you just lost 10 years of
your mom
life.
And your mom, like as kids, your mom.
Yep, our mom. And then nothing, nothing ever went back to the same,
And you have to go around saying, like, if people are like, where's your mom? You have to say in prison.
Yep.
And then for what?
And that's why my brother had such a hard time, because his father wasn't really open with him saying that, and so nobody knew his mom was in prison. They just thought
so he had to keep that all in.
Yeah, and I was trying to kind of be the sister, mom, and take care of him, but his dad wouldn't let me.
So did you not see your brother a lot during that?
Only saw him on the weekends when my aunt and uncle, my mom's siblings, they would have us over.
Get you guys together, yeah.
Would you visit your mom a lot?
When I first turned 17, I was able to go by myself, and that was the best. I was so hyped for that. I had a car, I could drive the 3 hours to go see her, whatever. It was great. I could finally just talk to her and spend one-on-one time with her again.
What was that like, seeing your mom in prison?
Was it through the glass and you had to pick up the phone?
Yeah,
or
the first year we only had two contact visits, and the rest was all through glass and the phones and all that. 30 minutes, waiting 6 hours to talk to her for 30 minutes through the glass, and it was traumatizing. I actually I didn't post this, but on the way down here, I passed the exits for the prison, and what I said was, I recorded a video because I wanted to post it, and then I just haven't yet, but I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and the exits that were coming up were the exit that we would eat at, and then the exit right after that was the prison exit, and I was like, I'd rather wet myself than get off at either one of these exits. It's that, that
PTSD
traumatizing.
from it.
And people don't realize, even though it's quote unquote over and she's exonerated now, we've proven her innocence, everything. Well, it's history, Yeah. They had about 2 months to make it right, and it took 20 years pretty much.
So was it once your mom got out, was it really hard for her to reacclimate to regular society?
She's still trying to reacclimate. She's still trying to.
And how long has she been out?
It's been 9 years since she got out.
Wow.
And she's still it's finally going great. She just actually got a better position or hours at her job because she's been there for a year, and she's renting a house for me, and you know, things are really looking up for her
Starting
now.
to get
But
better. Yeah.
but it needed, even, you know, like, even though she was not in prison all those years, she still had held over her head, oh, you might be retried. And so,
Right.
Oh.
Still thinking about having to go back.
yeah. And so it's finally now just ended. Like in October,
Right.
she was exonerated. So this
What-
is the first like 6 months of it.
Was it weird picking up like kind of where you left off when she got out? Was that hard
I think,
rekindling the relationship, I guess, outside of prison?
yeah, we're still trying, you know. My brother and I just got used to being on our own and doing our own things and, you know, living lives ourselves. And I was pretty much old enough at the time that nobody was going to bother me anymore. So
Right,
even though everyone still took care of me, I still had curfews at home and everything. I moved from my dad's to my grandparents and my aunts and wherever.
You
But
went to grandparents.
Takes a village. So a lot of people like kind of stepped in and helped take care of you guys also, even though
Yeah.
you were on your own.
yep. And so my brother was at his dad's and he was doing the best that he could do there. And so yeah,
Wow.
I just mobbed around, but that's why I kind of say I've been an adult a lot longer than
Most people.
most. So because I've just been
had
kind
to
of
grow up
trucking
fast.
since then.
Said you moved around a lot, like all in Chicago or all in Illinois area?
Yeah, all in Illinois, and then finally settled down when I met my wife, and we got our own place and everything. And then about 6 months into my relationship with her, I was in the emergency room getting my hernia. Well, they were trying to put my hernia back.
Was this at 22?
This was at 22.
And they
yeah.
it was like a mesh, right?
Yeah, so I went into surgery like 4:30. They were like, "Oh, we'll just implant this mesh in you. That'll prevent any future hernias." Because they were kind of thinking what you guys were thinking, like a physical injury, but
This was internal, like just straight stress.
straight stress. Yeah, and so they implanted the mesh, and literally right away, I mean, day one, I was like, "Hey, when I bend at the waist on this side, only on this side, it's
Is it
like
your right or
tingling
left?
on my left."
Okay.
I'm like, it's always tingling, like it feels like pins and needles, you know.
That's almost like an MS.
That'll
thing,
go
too.
away. That'll go away. Don't worry about it. That'll go away. I'm
Mm.
like, okay. 2 weeks in, it's still happening, you know. And then a month in, severe pain. Oh, it'll go away. And
Yeah.
this and that. Then I had tacks protruding, like they were supposed to dissolve, and my body just was rejecting them. So they were literally pushing out of my skin. It looked like a thumbtack, like pushing out.
Whoa,
And then they
yeah.
had to
Like the
go-
actual mesh coming out.
like the pins that they were holding. That was
The
holding
pins
the
that were
mesh.
holding the mesh.
So then they had to do a surgery to remove the pins, and then actually, I obviously didn't want the same surgeon to touch me, so I went around to all these different surgeons, ended up getting passed all the way to his boss, who was like, "I'm not going to do this because this was his thing, so he needs to go back in and do it." So after 18 months, it led me right back to the same surgeon.
Oh.
He did the surgery, and then he never let me in his office again.
What do you mean?
He took out the mesh and he never spoke to me again. He never let me come in. He never let me make a follow-up appointment. Nothing. He banned me from his office. And then I had gotten the records, and they said like nothing that I said. Like I got my records,
Yeah.
and
They
I
didn't
had
write any of that
they didn't
down.
write any of that down. And if they did, then they changed it all before I ended up getting
Wow,
it.
to
because-
try
Because
not
to
get
protect
sued.
themselves.
yeah, so like none of that, and me complaining all those times, none of that was
No,
in
that's
there. And so I tried to sue right away, and the lawyer was like, "Oh no, there's nothing, you know."
Because they covered it up.
Yep. And then I was so confused, and then me and my wife were going through the 60 pages of records or whatever, like, wait, where does it say this? Where does it say that? And she was with me, so like honestly we could have fought it harder, but I'm the type of person that's like, I'll get what comes my way, you know? And so I'm not really worried about financial compensation. Like, living out my dreams right now is my financial compensation, and I'm not making any money. But
Yeah.
it's just like I get to be here and be skating and, you know, be who
So
I am.
so that's what had the nerve. The mesh actually gave the nerve damage. Which, like, how much of your mobility did you lose?
So about, I don't know, probably a year in, I'd say, I started like not being able to flex my toes really on that side. And then I was like, this is strange. And then I would notice that like weird things were happening. Like I would think I'm like getting out of the shower, but like I would just kind of like fall over and was like, wait, what's
Like it wasn't
Wow.
responding
Yeah.
to what you thought it was doing.
Or like walking through a doorway and then like I just think my legs like through the door, like one leg in the other leg, like, but no, it was just like staying there. So like,
Whoa.
wait, I need to be conscious of this.
So if they listened to you when you were first complaining and took it out, would that potentially have never happened?
I think so. I
At
think
least less.
I think
less,
less.
yeah.
damage.
Because pretty much, so now like the final whatever it's at right now is like from the knee down. So like I can't kick on that side.
Mm-hmm.
But I can keep momentum when I walk. That's what gets confusing for people is I always walk right foot first so it looks normal. But
Right, you're almost kind of dragging the left.
yeah. So then when people like get in my way, I'm like, I get really frustrated. Like, move, like you need to move, but I can't obviously talk to people
Because you're
that
in
way.
the momentum.
In the momentum,
you don't
yeah.
want to slow down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so that's what, like, my wife will always talk about this. I would beg her, like, during my recovery phase, which was pretty much 2 years of my life, I would beg her to take me to the store. Like, please get me out of this house. I need to go somewhere. I'll just take me to the grocery store. I don't care where we go. Just take me somewhere. And she would, always would say, okay, she'd get off work, take me wherever. And then I would just turn into the most miserable Oscar the Grouch person that you could ever know because I was in so much pain. And I'd just be like, we need to leave right now. Like, and she'd be like,
Oh, man.
why this cycle? Like you keep saying we need to go out.
take
Because
me
it
here
gets
and take me
frustrating for
home.
people that don't, like, it's your wife. She obviously cares so much and is emotionally there for you, but it's hard to understand, like, these back and forths that you're going through.
Yep.
Because that happens with my mom with her brain injury. She gets flustered really easily. And people are like, you're fine.
She's like, yeah. So then I was like, I needed a cane, and that was kind of helping. I was like, oh, this is better. I can put less pressure on that side,
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, I can't go anywhere long distance anymore.
Yeah.
If there is a line or it is bigger than Walgreens, I cannot go there.
Need the chair then.
Yeah, and so I got a couple hospital chairs donated to me. Just the big wheeled kind with the armrests and everything. Exactly what you get at a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually like kind of adapted them into one like better wheelchair like between the two. And
Oh, you
then,
built them together?
yeah, and I took it to the skate park and I just like dropped in like. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then the caster's like the 6-inch crazy speed wobble. And I was like, "Whoa, sick!" Like, and so I'm posting these videos, and these people are like, "What are you doing?" Like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, I just need to be here. I need this adrenaline.
Did you even know what WCMX was then?
Yeah, I had seen an Aaron Wheels video. This was like
Gotcha.
about.
How old are you now? Like then?
So then I was 25.
So it took about 3 years for you to get the courage to go to the skate park?
Yeah, all I'd been doing was, like, I was super into art when I was younger, but I'm just more of an active person, so I never really wanted to pursue anything art-wise, even though I was pretty talented with it. But I just focused my energy into learning how to draw portraits after my injury, and so I would just play music and draw portraits and ended up actually being pretty good at it to the point where people wanted to pay me to draw their grandma or whatever, their baby.
Yeah, I need you at my wedding to do portraits.
Yeah, dude. And so I was like making money doing that, but it was so boring. Like it is
You
not.
didn't feel fulfilled.
No, I was just like, people are like, you're so talented. I'm like, that's great, but I am bored.
Yeah.
And I need something else. And then I saw Aaron Wheels and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, And so, like I said, went to the park in the hospital chair.
Dropped in with the big old metal foot pedals.
Yep.
Foot things and all this crap on there.
Yep. Like nobody's business. Did the 3-footer, then did the 4-footer. I was like, this is rad. I got this. And then I was like trying to do a GoFundMe to get like a skate chair,
Yeah.
Stalking these companies, Box and Sean Co. and this and that. And I was like,
Call you would get the phone book out and call
Yeah.
it. What's
Go
the
to
cheapest
the
chair?
And then my
What's the
wife was
cheapest
like,
chair?
you're grounded.
What's the cheapest chair?
Yeah.
And so
I
then
love getting at the kids' department store.
Yeah.
um
Call that.
and so then a company from California, they were like, hey, I had raised $500 and got what I thought was going to be like an adequate skate chair that I was able to grind on and everything, but people were like, you're actually grinding on like your frame, you know? This isn't like a skate chair. But I was hitting like everything on this thing. I was like, this is rad, you know? And people were like, no. And so then finally this company in California, they were like, hey, we usually only do custom chairs, but we have a couple that we already have built for someone else, and we think you're pretty close to the same size, but I'm not going to give you this chair unless it fits you perfectly. So send me your measurements. They didn't say like, here's the measurements. They were like, send me your measurements. I'm like, oh gosh, you know, like, cause this is like a dude. I'm like, there's no way we're the same size. Well, it turns out we are like to the T, almost the same size in the waist and everything, the legs.
It's your soulmate. It's like Cinderella.
Yeah, that's it. We gotta meet that person,
right? And actually, his name is still written on the bottom side of my seat cushion because it was for him.
What's his name?
His name's Rico. He was
Rico Suave.
He's a Navy guy, basketball player. And so the bottom of the chair actually has an anchor like welded under the footrest because of like his
Navy
and it's like navy and red are the colors, which I would never pick those colors, but like I said, this was a great opportunity.
What colors would you go with?
I would go with probably pink, or like I really thought like a wood grain paint job would be like the sickest wheelchair thing. Like if I ever got this chair repainted, like I don't know, wood grain's my thing. So I just thought like,
and this is the chair you
you're
still
an
have?
artist. Paint that.
Yeah.
Up.
This is the chair I still have.
Do a portrait of Prairie on there.
Right.
Yeah.
She's under you, Anthony. And so this chair actually, like they ended up offering me a partial athlete sponsorship, and so I got money off, and then they gave me a payment plan because there was absolutely no way my wife was about to drop $4,600 flat on this chair.
Yeah.
And
wait, sorry, I'm confused. I thought they said they were gonna give you the chair.
well, they were like trying to make a deal, you know.
Okay.
They weren't gonna actually like,
$4,600 is
a
the
deal?
discounted price.
It's a discounted price.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much is a crazy chair like that?
They're usually now they're quoting like $6,000, $7,000.
Damn.
The thing is the rims alone are $900, and then you're talking wheels, and I have 2 shocks that are $350 each, and a $600 cushion, and a $500 backrest. You know, all this stuff that
It's like a custom bike.
makes it and it makes it comfortable and makes it a part of you versus a lot of wheelchairs that people get from their insurance or whatever that are not, you know, like if I turn in my waist, my chair is going to turn with me. You know, it's not like you barely have to do anything to get this chair to move.
Do you gate
really?
check it at the plane?
Yeah, I ride it all the way to the door, and then they take it down like a stroller.
Oh, nice. Does it fold up?
No, the wheels come off. So actually, that's what took me so long to get in here. I had it in my trunk, which I never do because it's just like a tight fit. But so yeah, just the wheels.
Hard to fit
pop
the chair
off.
in the bends.
Yeah, usually I just put it in the back seat. But
Yeah.
That is wild. And then you eventually switched from the chair.
When did you go from the cane to the crutches?
so
That's a good
I
question.
still have. So I actually was gonna use a cane to get in here, and then I'm like, I don't know how far their room is. And the crutches are hard with the dog, so I was like,
the
I'm
dog,
gonna get my chair out. So like people's houses, if they have stairs or something, that's where I'm gonna use like crutches.
Crutches. Gotcha.
If I'm going into the gas station to pay for my gas, I'm gonna use my
The
cane.
cane, yeah.
And then if I'm going to Walmart or the airport or the zoo or something
Use the
like
chair.
that, I'm use the
Yeah,
chair.
carry all the shit around. Jeez.
Yep. So
I thought my
get
cane-
annoyed
I
at 2 canes,
I was
yeah.
going with my cane.
yeah, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, there's no convenience to this. And actually, the day that I had that situation happen, I was sitting in the car with my wife beforehand. Like, I don't even want to get my chair out. I just want to go in real quick. But I'm looking at all the people going in. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a line, you know. So I sat there for a good few minutes debating on what I could handle, and that's what I always have to do, you know. Not only does it take up space in my vehicle or someone else's vehicle, but every time I go somewhere I have to think about it. Like if like for example, my mom bought tickets to a comedy show at United Center, well then I was like, oh my gosh, where are we going to be? You know, like what if it's a situation where you can use the elevator to get upstairs, but then you're supposed to walk down the bleachers, you know, then I need crutches and my chair, you know. So there's a lot of thought and stuff that goes into it, but pretty much I started using the chair. I was such a high fall risk. I was having a lot of falling issues, and my pain doctor was like, hey, you really just need to use the chair. And that's what started the whole finding a better chair option. And
Gotcha.
and then when I was hitting the skate park again, got the skate chair, then that started WCMX, which is what brought me here.
To skating. When did you make the switch to the board? Back to the board.
Yeah.
So 2019, I actually saw a GIF on Facebook of,
Is it a GIF or a GIF?
I never know,
GIF.
Whatever.
GIF.
Keep going. I was just curious.
of Daniel Pelletier, and he did like crazy crutch flip. Like he skates more like Shane, like he pops the board with his crutches.
Mm.
And he did this crazy like rail slide flip trick thing, and I was like, whoa. I had never seen anyone do that, and I was like, I have those crutches, the same forearm crutches, you know. I'm like, and I still have my old board. Now the best part about it was the only helmet I had at the time was my full face WCMX helmet, which highly resembles a dirt bike motocross helmet. So here's me at the skate park with my full face and my crutches and my skateboard. Looking like, you know, like a movie, like a cartoon where the kid puts on the hockey helmet or football helmet to go like in the snow or something. Like I looked crazy. And that was September 2019. I landed Pop Shove It the first day I got back on my board. I was like, this is it. This is going down. And then somebody sent me like a whole new setup in the mail. And then I think it was like 6 months after, I was down here in St. Pete.
Oh, that quick?
Yeah.
Like the first contest.
And that's the same time frame pretty much. So I got my skate chair.
Is that when I met you at St. Pete? Was that
it wasn't that year.
Okay.
So like
2020 or something?
Yeah, this was, man, what year would that have been? Yeah, 2020.
Okay.
2021 maybe?
Yeah, I met you guys 2021, I think.
I think, Anthony, you came a year
22.
before.
Yeah.
Year before?
No, it was the year after.
Or year after?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like WCMX, I got my skate chair October 1st, 2016. And then I competed at the Worlds and got 4th in the world at WCMX like April 2017. So like eight months in, or no, that would have been 6 months in too.
Yeah.
October to April. So that was my first WCMX competition, and then that 2 years later, I'm back on my board.
On the board.
How does it feel to be back on the board?
The best. I mean, there's nothing more free than that. Like I have literally skate wheels on the front of my front of my wheelchair, but it's still not the same. And I'm just such a street rider, so trying to learn how to flow in a chair was like trying to learn how to bull ride, you know? It's just like when you're just a solid street skater for 10 years, then you're trying to get in the bowl. It's not going to be pretty, you know? It's just,
Yeah, but now you're doing kickflip fakies in the bowl.
So yeah, then 6 months later came down. And actually that competition, I did both. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I did WCMX for women, and then I did adaptive skate, and I had to compete against the guys. I got 6 out of 10
Oh, sick.
in the guys.
They were 10 back then? What happened to everybody?
Yeah, where is everyone? Get back to these contests.
What the hell?
Yeah, there were 10 men there.
Was it in
Well,
Cali?
9. No, it was here. It was actually ASF, I think.
ASF Vision.
Oh yeah. This is
Adaptive Skate.
Foundation or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Same initials. Yeah, ASF. Yeah, that's what the skate. So they used to host at St. Pete in February. Then Grind for Life came about. So after that comp, I then went straight to just skateboarding. I just tried to retire it, and people still beg me, please just show up in your wheelchair. And the best I could do was announcing WCMX at Dew Tour.
Yeah, that was
last
sick
year.
to hear you on there.
Really? Oh, I missed this.
That was rad. Like that was the best time. Like
Wait, was that this past year?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
Because then I met Dan first at Dew Tour 2021, right?
Yeah, is that the first time we met?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I met and I was blown away because we had not met yet, and I walked up to you, and who are you with? You're with Paul or something, right?
It's probably with Shire. Yeah. That's when it rained a bunch.
Yep. So you guys were
crazy.
out. You remember that giant hill, and then you had to go in the registration, like we were doing COVID tests and everything. So you had just left the building, and I was like walking out, and you guys were chilling right there, so I met you. And then the following year, I walk up to you, like I had not seen you since then, Dan, since Do Tour, which was May 2021. And then flash to
like
February
June or something.
2022. And all of us are at
St.
Pete.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
where
walk
I met
up
you.
to you and I said, "Hey, what's up, Dan?" And I'm about to say, "It's Tia." And you said, "What's up, Tia?" And I was like,
Got it. So,
dude, I was like, I texted my wife, like, I don't know what happened, but he remembered my voice and I only talked to him once.
Dan Mancina.
so then I got an elephant brand, so Vault
Dude,
up
that
here.
was
Dude,
sick.
The elephant's got nothing.
You didn't
to
even
remember.
hesitate.
Good memory.
You didn't even think, who is this person? There was no hesitation. And we had only met at Do Tour the previous
Good job,
year.
Dan.
Yeah.
Good job, Dan.
So super rad.
Yeah, usually I forget people.
Yeah, I met you. You were in your wheelchair, and then you were skating crutches, and I was confused. I was like, "Hey, what the fuck?
Hey, you just got out of that chair.
You were walking."
What are you doing?
That's
I
what
know.
you're talking about. The incident was you got out of your car, put your chair together, and some guy started yelling at you.
Yeah.
Like that exact word.
Go to her TikTok. What's your TikTok?
The Tia Pearl.
The Tia Pearl.
TIA
PIRL.
PEAR.
Oh, whoops.
PEARL.
Is that how you spell pearl?
Yep.
Like the pearl?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know there was an A in it. I thought Pearl was PEARL.
I thought it was PIRL.
TIAPEARL.
Shows how much I know.
It's PE.
I used to get hundreds on all my spelling tests.
Do you have any
too.
pearls? Do you own any pearls?
Yes. If you, Anthony, will you just scoot out for a sec so
No.
Perry can get by? Almost.
Pearls are, I feel, underrated nowadays. It's like having an old school jewelry,
go
I
ahead.
feel like.
Pearls are they're pretty
love-
expensive, I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, they're dope, though.
Like a real pearl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of Flintstones. The wife always had the
The pearl necklace, right?
Big old pearls.
Yeah.
I had to pull the.
Wasn't her name Pearl?
Was it? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Perry, we just gotta shake like right near the
She's
mic.
all right.
She's fine.
Yeah, I actually, when I was younger, my aunt got me this like, oyster or whatever that you get the pearl out. You like open it, the can,
Sick.
and then you get the pearl out yourself. And so I had
so
this
cool.
pearl in like a little sterling silver like cage necklace thing, and that's how I proposed to my wife, with like this pearl that I had since I was
No
a kid.
way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which brings me right. So how did you meet your wife? And where is she from? Chicago area also?
Yeah, she was more like right near the city, like 5-10 minutes near the city. And we met her. I actually was babysitting her brother at the time, and she lived out of state, and she ended up moving back home, and then that's how we met.
Was it love at first sight?
Yeah, she because she's put her hand out to shake my hand, and that was like my thing. Nobody like our age, we were like 20. Nobody our age shook hands, and
How you doing?
Hey,
She's like-
nice to meet
and
you.
Put
she
her there.
said, "Hi, I'm Ann," and
Hi,
I'm
I'm
like,
Ann.
"Oh," and I like ever since, that was it, hooked. But she was already married.
Oh,
Really?
no.
Oh, you're
So then I had a whole nother
home wrecker.
to deal with. Yeah, married with a kid, but
Oh, she's married to a guy at
Was-
that time? Did you ever date guys? When
when
you
I
were
was
young,
younger,
Yeah.
like only until like 15.
Was there a time you just knew, like, I'm not into guys, I'm into girls?
Yeah, pretty much when all the dudes were trying to hook up and they were saying very vulgar things to me that were not turning me on in any
Not
way.
doing
But I was thinking,
anything
like,
for ya.
if a girl said something like that, like I
Yeah,
would probably do that.
Hey, show me your pearl, Tia.
Yeah.
So
Show me that oyster.
Yeah. Life's an oyster.
yeah,
Is that it? Life's an oyster?
so
The world is your
World
oyster.
is your oyster.
then I
Hopefully you
started
find a pearl.
dating women like right away, 16 on, just only women.
Okay.
How many girlfriends before your wife?
Two,
Okay.
one that there was a third that we didn't really date.
I got a question. This is a little vulgar.
Yep.
Are you going to say it?
Yeah. This is a misconception, I'm
Here
pretty
we
sure.
go. That's what I was going to ask.
Lesbians do not scissor. Is this correct?
Not really. It's
Not a thing, right?
No, like there are times where the positioning ends up close to that, but it would be similar to like if you guys were getting in a position like that. It's not like a
Yeah.
full on
Yeah.
like legs that's straight out like.
Yeah. It doesn't
Thing.
do anything.
Yeah, like how are you gonna orgasm from just scissoring my timbers?
Yeah. So
How long was she dating, or was she married with the kid, or just
yeah,
had a
so
bo-
she was married for a little bit,
and they were
then-
fully married?
What are you guys doing? The dogs are being goofy, but they're getting along. They're wagging.
They're lesbians too.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, Delta's for sure lifting up her leg.
Yeah,
like
she
they're
does
trying to
that.
have oyster
Trying
time.
to scissor over this.
Try
Oyster
to
time.
scissor.
They're like, hey, look at our pearls.
So wait,
They love
she
each
was
other.
married.
Yeah, and
When
it
you
was
met her?
Yeah, and they had only gotten married for legal purposes. They thought he was going to be able to, secure this insurance. And
Okay.
So they weren't even in love per se.
no,
They had a kid.
Yeah, they had a kid, and he was supposed to go to the army, and he had a record, so that didn't happen.
The kid or the dad?
The dad, the kid
Oh,
didn't have a record yet. He was just a baby.
You never know these babies these days.
So yeah, it wasn't. Then it was more like
So it's pretty easy to break them up.
and he
How'd
lived
you
out of
slide
state.
in there? How'd you slide in
Yeah.
there?
Well, it was kind of funny. I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time and moved in with them. Like she had moved back from out of state. He had moved from out of state, and then I didn't have anywhere else to go. So she invited me
Because you're already like babysitting, so come
Yep.
stay. You can watch the kid, kind of deal.
Yep. And so
Did
super.
she ever admit to you that she was trying to get you in the house at all, or no?
No, but
No.
it was funny. It was like the first day that I moved in, we had like a get together, like their son, like, her son, my son now, but her son at the time went to his grandparents' house, and we had like friends over and had this very like weird party experience where like, no,
Hey.
come here.
Okay. Go to mama.
We got a dog issue,
Go to mama.
Come here, Per.
Go to mama.
technical issue. Whoa! Come on up.
Whoa, baby. All right.
There we go. You're locked in.
Here you go, Delta.
You're locked in the freaking corner.
So,
So you're this party, you're kind of vibing with each other.
yeah,
a
like
little bit?
we were vibing, and like he was being so weird. Like,
Was he cockblock or pearl blocking?
No, he was like hitting on her friends.
Oh.
yeah.
And so she was just like then avoiding him, and he's like a drunk monster guy, and so
Oh,
he
okay.
started like heavily drinking, was like, and then we ended up going to, I had a different place at the time, but I had just broken up with my girlfriend at the time. We lived together. She had gone to her parents, so I was like, hey, let's just get out of here and go back to my
Nice.
Oh, the
move.
old get
Nice.
outta here,
You gotta separate them.
house. And so
Gotta
Hey,
separate
hey,
them from their friends.
Hey, let's get out of here.
So me and her and our other friend, we went back to my condo, and then we just like literally passed out and went to sleep. And then the next day we went back with more of my stuff, like to continue the move-in process. And then he was just like so hungover and lost all his stuff and crazy that we locked him out. And
Going crazy.
then he like ended up in the mental hospital. And then next thing we know, he's just on a bus back to his state, and we never saw him again after that.
So is he
Wow.
out of the kid's life?
Yeah, he's been in and out of jail every year. We had it was fully open for him to do the right thing and come
Yeah.
around and pay child support, whatever, get himself together, and nobody ever
He hasn't done it yet.
kept him away. No, but it's been, we haven't seen him for 12 years, so
Wow.
Wow.
probably not coming around. But, and it's funny because my son will say things like, he's very instinctual and he knows about him and everything.
How old is he? 12?
He's almost 14.
Okay.
And so he has my last name and everything, and he knows all about him, but has no interest in being around him.
So your wife took your last name?
Yep, we're all Pearls,
Nice.
and Pearl is actually my given middle name, but I had a hyphenated last name, and if it's like kind of a weird thing, but because of what my mom went through, if you Google Tia Del Preet Finazzo or Tia Del Preet,
Is that your mom's name too?
yeah, then it all comes up.
Like you, yeah.
Anything relating to her case pops up. And so I just actually turned my middle name into my last name,
Gotcha.
and that just changed the whole game, because now if you search Tia Pearl, it's going to be all skate stuff and everything
Yeah.
I've done.
Nice.
What was
as
your
an adult.
wife's maiden name?
Dudek.
Dudak.
Did she
Yeah.
take his name? His old husband's name? Her
No,
old
like
husband?
she never,
Dudek.
they didn't like they had a marriage certificate, but she hadn't changed
She
her
didn't do
name.
that.
They weren't even really married.
Yeah, Pearl's better than Dudek.
Yeah.
They were just married in the eyes of the law.
Yep. So,
Wow. That is.
yep.
So you said the kid doesn't skate though. He's a video gamer, right?
Yeah. He skated 18 months. Like, so when I met him, I got him on a board right away. I got pictures of him with me in his diaper and everything. He's on a board ripping, and we were playing tech decks and all that. And so he skated really till he was 6, and then he got a scooter.
He went to the dock side.
And I thought he would be more like me, where he would just kind of want to like switch around, because I had BMX bikes and
right,
you know,
at
like
that age,
blades and all that. And no, it was strictly scootering. So it was still fun because he would go to the skate park with me, you know,
right.
and we would travel the world and do all the skating and whatever. We went on like long road trips, like 12 days, 23 days, stuff like that, mobbing around.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so who does he call mom?
Both of us.
Mom and mom.
But how does he know? Yeah.
Just kind of knows.
Sometimes it's just the tone or what he's talking about. He used to differentiate more when he was little, like she's mommy and I'm mama. But now it's just mom and mom.
That's great.
And it's really just the tone. You're like, oh, he's talking to me.
When he's more pissed
he's like,
off.
oh, hey, mom. And then you're like, oh, I know he's about to ask me something. Or he'll be like, mom. For whatever reason, they sound different, you know?
Yeah.
Who's the more stern one?
Me. I am.
Imagine.
I have very.
Sounds like you wear the pants in this family.
Yeah, I'm the leader of the pack. I definitely make sure things are, you know, bills are paid. Everyone's got what they need. But I'm also the yes mom, so, you know, they ask for anything and chances are.
Ask your mom.
Do you think that stems from you having a tough childhood with parent-wise, that you want your kid to have whatever they want?
Well, I want him to have whatever he wants, but I want him to have respect for himself and others.
And responsibility.
And respect for himself means, you know, hygiene and health. And I'm super big, like, if he didn't do his 90 minutes of physical activity, which is a variety of things. He could do anything from woodworking to tree climbing, you know. It doesn't matter what the physical activity is.
As long as he's getting out from the video games.
Yeah, something. Then
is
he
he
can have...
Xbox or PlayStation?
He's Xbox just because that's what he was given from his uncle and cousin.
Gotcha.
But
he'd probably play whatever he could get.
Yeah, and so we've gone back and forth with, like, you know, setting it up in his room and doing this. And he's, you know, he's a sneaky guy. He'll take any chance he can. And so... Now he has to bring his cords down at night.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me.
Has to earn them back the next day.
The cords.
Yeah, he brings the cords when he comes to brush his teeth, and then we know that all got done. And then
until he starts working and gets his
own spare cords.
And it's funny because he's like also the kid that doesn't even think of things like that. Like I told him when I was going to give him the Xbox back, he's like, I told him, like, the Xbox is here in the barn. He's like, it's not in the barn. I'm like, yes, it is, you know. But he hadn't even looked. Like, he could have had it in his room. He could have been sneaking it for months, and he did not even think twice about it, you know. Yeah. So
did he look and not see it?
I think. I mean, he said
that's
there's
like
no way you would have it in the barn.
Like, yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Looked. Right there.
But I mean, he has thought of, like, he's done, you know, his cleverness, like find my old phone in my dresser and hook it up to the Wi-Fi, and then you know, he made a fake email address with
these kids are sneaky.
Yeah, I like to get on YouTube for whatever.
Yeah.
Watch ASF Vision videos.
Yep. And so yeah, he wants to game, but I want him to do physical activity and writing every day before he.
I wish I was more into the writing. I wish I was better at it. Kelly's good at it, but it's just hard.
He is so creative, and I'm like, you could write the best books and stories, and I don't care if he even talked it into his phone. You know, he could do that. But yeah, I have pushed sports, and I've said whatever you want to get or try, we can get it and try it. And he's just not a sports guy. So I got a basketball hoop, but that's for me. You know,
you shoot hoops?
Yeah, I love basketball.
You do?
Yeah. So out of the
Chicago
basic,
Bulls fan?
Yeah. Oh, I was the biggest in the '90s. It was like all I wore.
I was with Gary Payton.
Yeah.
I was with him like 2 months ago. Him,
that's so fun.
The guy from who's the guy? Paul Pierce,
that's
and
awesome.
gosh, what's his name? What was the guy's name I did the layup with? Derek Fisher.
You're trying determined to get out of here again, huh, Perry? You're gonna crawl through.
You're not doing it. Yeah, good girl.
And so yeah, he has to earn his cords every day to have that game time. But you know, I am anti-game. Like I've had systems all my life and used to play every Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you know. But just don't think there's any use in playing them, and I don't, technically find it fun, but I have found it really hard as a parent, but I finally have gotten over it to just like be supportive of this is what he likes.
Because you got to let the kids be a little bit, because or they're going to rebel in other ways.
Exactly. And so as much as it's not my favorite thing, anytime anyone says for Christmas, oh, what can I get Aiden? I'm like, oh, any Minecraft stuff, Minecraft, I wouldn't want, that's not what I would pick for him, but that's what he wants, so he gets it. And that's what we did is when he got his new room in the barn, we got him all this cool Lego stuff, and he likes Legos, and he was doing stop motion for a while. That's something I think is cool. Yeah. But yeah, so I wish he would skate with me, but my wife learned to skate, and she was one of those people like, I'll never skate, I'll never be able to skate, and then but I can teach anyone to skate.
Mm-hmm. So she cruises around now.
Yeah, she's not like, she doesn't want to do tricks or anything, no, but she wants
to. Yet.
She'll ride the penny board around the park a bit.
Cruise, yeah.
Yep.
And then you're doing a skate contest, right?
Skate contest, yep.
Adaptive contest.
Yeah, I want to just host it at the park that I ride all the time because nobody really goes there, but it's a fun little park.
Is this in August, right?
Yeah, when is it?
August
Shout
11th through 13th. They're doing a camp out, adaptive and WCMX camp out on my land, and then
how many acres?
5 acres.
Woo! 5 acres.
Do you have a flat spot? You skate like street on there?
I really need to redo my driveway, but there will be plenty of time to make a good spot at home. But right now, like, my favorite spot to skate is my local park, which is literally 8 minutes and it's always empty.
What's the name of the park?
It's this Hanover skate park.
Hanover.
Yeah, like
that's where the contest
hand
will
it
be.
Over.
That's where we'll be.
August 11th through 13th. You can camp.
Yep.
If you're an adaptive rider.
Or WCMX.
Or camp and shred.
Trying to meet all the homies, and I don't know, I think we just need something more personal,
Mm-hmm.
Do some barbecuing.
Yep.
Cook up some T-Rex. Just kidding.
This guy.
No T-Rex.
No T-Rex. Cow bacon.
Yeah.
Cow bacon.
Get some
eggs.
beef bacon going.
Beef bacon. I'm a turkey bacon guy.
Yeah.
I've been rocking the turkey bacon.
Yeah, Dan has been rocking the TB.
A little dry, but
tuberculosis. But I wanted to ask before, because we are getting towards the end, and I know you have to go somewhere, but I do want to ask, what the hell am I missing on this OnlyFans, Tia?
Yeah,
I want to know what's going on behind the paywall. There's no audio description, so I need some. Give me the juice.
It is there.
What's your OnlyFans name?
I'm not gonna shout it out.
You don't want to shout it out?
No, you don't want to shout it out?
If they want to find it, they'll find it.
Yeah,
they'll find it.
I was on Foot Finder first.
Foot Finder. Oh, you were showing the feet.
I was making a little bit of money on there.
Yeah.
I always wanted to show my feet for money.
And I honestly was like,
I got weird toes.
OnlyFans, you can just do a little bit more as far as like than YouTube or anything else. And so I was like, I could spread awareness about a few things. A few things I know.
Spread awareness.
So.
Do you do like dancing? Is it videos? Is it pictures?
No, I honestly.
Give me the juice. Give me the deets.
I got it all set up, and then I haven't done one thing.
The people are starving out there. They're thirsty.
So.
They're parched.
Yep. So yeah.
Parched for the pearl.
I had to ask.
Building up all the social.
I am a married man, so I can't go on that OnlyFans. But I've been really curious.
Mm-hmm. Go to my Instagram, the Tia Pearl. Links are all there.
There we go.
You have YouTube too?
Yes,
I do.
What's your YouTube? Is it Tia Pearl or the Tia Pearl?
YouTube is still Tia Pearl WCMX. I used to daily vlog and went like 300 videos straight, and it just is so time consuming.
It's a lot, especially the long form.
Yep. And I thought that, and I had gotten Prairie right then, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be training my service dog and doing all these videos, and then trying to handle her in the wheelchair and the camera all at the same time. I was like, this is insane. And I was like setting up shots in Walmart and then going back with my dog, and I'm like, this is crazy.
How does your wife feel about the content? Does she support it?
Oh yeah, she loves it. She's down for me to do anything I want to do, and she's one of those ones that's like, she's happy that everyone else is looking at me. She's like, yeah, I got a hot wife, I know it. I know I gotta catch up.
Do you guys have one of those open relationships?
No. And it's funny.
Will she be in any of the videos?
I don't know.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe if I'm lucky.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Her hair is very, very long.
What hair are we talking
Now
about?
we're talking. I love some long
down
hair.
to her butt.
Oh, it's
long,
like mine.
like super long. Yeah.
Getting tangled.
Oh yeah, she's always like, she has to spend hours just detangling it.
Tangling the hair. Is it? Oh, it's like kind of curly.
Yeah, she's got a good wave to it.
Nice wave. Hair
Good old
all wavy.
wave.
Girls go all crazy.
Yep.
Making gravy.
That's crazy. You guys met like that, and then just boom.
Yeah, it was just like we moved
Perfect.
in together, and that was that. We
That's-
got married three years later, actually.
Sorry, Rico.
So it all started from the let's get out of here.
Yeah, well, we had already been flirting, and we had already kissed before that.
Oh,
So before we moved in
lot of
together.
intense eye contact
Yeah.
at the parties. And
How old was the son at this point?
He was just one.
So he had kind of no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Does he
had
know
no
about his
idea.
dad's history?
Yeah, he knows everything.
yeah, she said that.
knows everything.
Anthony.
He says he knows everything.
He
and
recently asked
Yeah.
me his first name, and then when I told him what his name was, he started cracking up like he thought it was the funniest name. And
Can
I'll
you
tell
say
you
it?
guys off the
Off air?
podcast.
Okay.
I don't think that guy deserves any credit.
Any shout-outs.
Gotcha.
I thought it was Rico for a second, but that's the wheelchair.
The wheelchair guy. Yeah, so then we got married the day that it was legalized in Illinois. We actually
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, we got married the day
yeah.
before, but we were still celebrating at midnight and like signed the marriage certificate.
Cool.
Oh, that's sweet. Did you have it on the land?
No, actually, we didn't have the land yet, but we did. My grandparents had an acre. We had our wedding in the forest actually for free. And that started with like, we would always go to the forest preserve and we were like, we got to rent out that building, and we're like calling, and we had no money at the time. And we're like, they're like, oh, it's $400 and that's the minimum or whatever. And I'm like, oh gosh, we can't afford it. So then I called one day and was like, so if like a group of people arranged to meet at the woods for a period of time, like, is that fine? And they're like, yeah, So
Did you bring food?
No,
Or
what we
that was
did was
after?
we like went and set up. There was this perfect area with this giant tree trunk that we actually could stand on with my uncle who was ordained and was going to marry us. And then
Nice.
there were all these broken like dead trees laying, and so we just put like all these like little lacy and sheets and stuff over them.
Cool.
So there was
guys
plenty
are
of
artsy.
seating, and then people put out flowers and stuff, and then we just went and we had like a nice 15-minute wedding in the woods, and then we actually had a photo shoot with my best friend. She was taking the pictures where we stripped down in the woods together. Got
Oh!
a sexy shoot going
Nice.
Is that on OnlyFans?
on. That should be. I gotta find those
Tia
pictures.
Pearl.
actually.
I didn't know any of this.
You're naked
So,
in the forest.
Yeah, naked in the forest.
That's like as primal as you could get.
right. Like we had like I had my pants on with the like what are they called, suspenders hanging down, and then like but I was shirtless, had my arms around her but was covering up her. It's like all the visuals of the wedding attire being
Yeah.
stripped down.
Artsy, sexy.
Yep. And it was my friend, so we were just like, we're down, whatever, our friend could see
cool.
us a little naked.
That's big. That's like big now. It's like I guess I don't know how, like the sexy photos, like women will just do the nude photo shoots.
There's a
and
lot of those
stuff
pregnancy ones too.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's just, we need to be able to promote our bodies more, and I think
Yeah.
there needs to be less jealousy in relationships and more, hyping your spouse up. Like they should look
Yeah.
hot,
They should
even if
feel
they're not
hot
going to
and-
go out with you.
Yeah.
If they're going out with their friends, they should look good. They
Yeah,
should
yeah, I
feel
believe that.
confident.
I agree. Do you have any plans? Would you guys ever like adopt another kid or have another, like, is that in the future or you don't know?
We
Or
have
no?
serious debates. Like up until now, our plan has always been to have another kid. She wants to have another
How
kid.
would you guys do it? Adoption or like through what is it, sperm donor?
Yeah, we would get a sperm donor, but we were kind of getting hyper about
I'll
not
do
having
it.
a random. That's funny that you say that. We were like, we don't want to have a random donor because you don't
Dan.
know what you're expecting. And so actually,
Dan the Mancina.
there is
There
another.
we go.
There is another
Man pearl.
another person that you guys actually know that has offered.
Oscar?
No, but there is a person that is. We're gonna see Oscar later. He's coming.
Is he coming?
He's coming?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I just found out today.
Yes.
I saw him added on the list.
Me and Dan were like,
Sick.
we were annoyed.
Are
We
we
were like,
the
were we
only
the only
ones
two?
again?
Yeah, no, and Jacob
Dope. And
Sick.
Jacob.
and
Yeah.
some kid named Luca,
Luca.
6-year-old.
Luca.
Oh, I know
Shredder.
Luca.
I was gonna say that
Wait,
sounds
is he
familiar.
from Kansas City?
I don't know,
I think I know him.
but yeah. So we've talked
Oh,
about
so we got 4 tomorrow.
Oh, great.
yeah, or 5.
Or 5. 2, 3, 4. That's 5.
Yeah. So yeah, we've talked about getting a donor and doing.
Who would carry?
She would carry.
Of course.
I don't really have any interest in it, but
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that would be, not to assume, but like with the leg, it would be even
oh yeah, it'd
tougher.
be-
Like
having
that,
to carry around the
like,
baby.
Yeah.
because I also have endometriosis, so I have a lot going on. Like
endometrial. Who?
endometriosis.
What is that?
It's pretty much like like I get severe periods and stuff.
Okay.
And and I get like leg numbness during my period and stuff like that, where my legs just don't work at
Is
all.
that from the surgery or is that separate?
No, it's something else that I
Okay.
already
Separate
had.
thing.
But yeah, I think that would be miserable, just like with how my periods go and how the nerve hurts as
Yeah.
it is. Like,
Yeah.
like
No,
if I
it's,
eat
like,
too much or something,
Excruciating.
and then
I was
I
gonna
have
say, all that
like
extra
I go
weight
to the
might-
bathroom and then I'm like cleared out. I get like this super intense pain because it was like the nerve was cushioned before that, and
Oh.
then it's like ugh.
That's interesting because I just learned recently through like with the judo, the refeed after weight cut. If you eat the right things, it'll put a layer of cushioning over your like muscles and tendons and stuff.
Oh yeah, see.
So
That's
it is a
interesting.
lot in the diet. Did you learn that the diet could help at all? Like, does it, if you eat something bad, does it affect, you know what I'm saying? Like, does cleaner food kind of make you feel better?
I definitely just tried to stick with a healthier lifestyle just because I want to, continue to be an athlete into my older years.
And you said with the pain pills you're on that, you had to kick that, right? That was like a bunch of like
Did you go through a lot of
depression,
withdrawal?
addiction, and then you went to THC, CBD, right?
yeah, so I had this
That was a big.
thyroid metabolism condition where I can't get addicted to anything.
Wow.
And so my body would get so used to, and this happens with any prescriptions, about 5 days in, my body is completely used to the prescription.
So you had to up the dose like
up the
crazy.
dose.
Oh,
and then,
no.
It got to the point where they were like, we're upping it to the max and it's only lasting 2 weeks. So what it turned into was I would switch prescriptions every 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
Any combination I could think of, which led me to,
The cocktails, the doctors call it.
and my last cocktail that I was working 60 hours a week on was Xanax, Valium, and morphine. I would
That does
take
not
them
sound good.
every day, all day.
Wow.
And that's what they prescribed
Me, yep. And so I was like, I've had enough of this. We moved out to the country. I was like, I am going to wean myself off of this. And then my pain doctor agreed to, that was right when medicinal cannabis hit Illinois.
Mhm.
Like signed off on double the amount that most people could get because of my condition and how it was, because I just really wasn't getting any relief, but I also wasn't an addict. So
Did you go through the physical withdrawals though of the?
oh yeah, so like I'd be sick, like I'd be in bed, and then if I didn't
But
take
you
my
didn't
pill
have
on time-
cravings for it.
Nope. Just
Interesting.
the side effects every 2
So
weeks.
does it do the same thing with THC? Do you gotta do a super high or it's CBD?
I just have to switch
Strains.
strains.
Oh, okay.
Because you get used to one too quickly.
Yeah.
Do you find that the THC really helps
Yeah, it's the only thing. Like people are like,
with no
"What? You're
side
high
effects
all day?"
too?
And I'm like, "Look, I wouldn't be here all day if I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I would be in bed at home
It's-
in pain."
It's like taking the Xanax or pain medicine, but without those nasty side effects,
Yep.
and actually helping.
So like April 15th, 2015, just weaned myself off. Haven't taken anything since. Actually, until I was coming down here to St. Pete a couple months ago, and I had a dental abscess. My face was swollen.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me
I had
that,
this
yeah.
huge, and then like I didn't want to give in and take the pain medicine, but I was like in so much pain. But it was funny then by the 5th day, no relief from it, and it was like giving me headaches
Yeah.
to
doing
not have it,
anything.
like if I, because I was like, oh, I'm not going to take it anymore. But then I had like a week of headaches, even though it wasn't working anymore, and then got off that. I mean, but that it was just like a one.
Well, thank God you got off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God you don't have to take those anymore, and that you found THC.
Yeah, I had lost like 25 pounds from the prescription use.
Mm.
Ugh. Yeah, it's a terrible road that a lot of people go down, and not all of them are. I don't know whether to call it fortunate with your thyroid problem that you can't get addicted, but a lot of people just get so addicted. So
Exactly.
um,
It's rough.
Are you still with the same CBD company?
Yeah, so a CBD company actually from down here in Florida, Wheaties.
Give them a
Wheaties.
shout out because they hook you up.
Yeah, in Clearwater. I actually was just a fan of his TikTok. And then last year when I was down here at St. Pete with you guys,
yeah, you met him.
yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to go, like I hit him up like, hey, I'm going to be in town. If we could make a TikTok or something, that'd be dope. And then he's like, what are you doing in town? And I told him what I was doing. And he's like, hey, I'm trying to sponsor some athletes,
Sick.
And so he's like, send me an invoice of like your annual cost for travel and
Oh, that's
housing.
amazing.
And
So he's been helping you out.
ever since, yeah.
Big
Wheaties.
shout out, Wheaties.
Big shout out,
Clearwater,
We
Florida.
need
Yeah,
more companies like
literally.
Yeah, we do.
that supporting the adaptive riders.
And
yeah.
I've like, I'm always tiptoeing around him like, hey, because he's a busy guy. I'm like, it's all right. We don't have to work together if and he's like, no, I'm in it for the long haul. Like he's got my
That's a
back
good dude.
100%. And that's why I've been able to actually get to so many competitions.
Did you already tell us why you drove out here instead of flying this time?
Spring break.
Oh.
The flights were insane.
Insane.
That's
And
what-
then with the lift rides
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm in that same RV park I was in last year that you guys came
Oh.
to see. So it's like only 10, 15 minutes from here, but
Yeah.
lift, here, there.
No, it all adds up.
Yeah,
Was so the driving was cheaper though?
Yeah, I spent like 200 in gas on the way down. So
Uh-huh.
it'd be
Opposed to like 500 on a flight.
yeah,
one
plus
way.
lifts. Plus,
Yeah, plus, yeah.
And so, because it always gets to the point where, oh, well, I can get a rental car. Oh, well, that's going to cost money.
Yep.
Right.
And
All
so,
about it.
yeah.
What would you say? Let's end it on this. What would you say to someone in a situation where they have something happen to them that they can't control, that might have been through doctors or something went wrong, but they can't reverse it, and now they have to live their life completely new in this new situation, and they're just scared and don't want to do it?
Well, my motto for life is stay happy, feel rich. And I think that really is just like portraying like keep yourself happy, because then other people are going to view you in a certain way. And I say feel rich because a lot of people view like, oh, rich people, they have it easy, they have it all, they have this, they have that. You want to reach out to the rich person to help you. You know what I mean? So people view me, they think, oh, well, she's happy all the time, so she must be rich in some way. I can ask for her for help. And that's like really why I say that, like stay happy, feel rich, because it's like keep yourself occupied and happy with what you're doing so you don't have to feel miserable with your condition, because I wanted to die. Like I was over everything before I got back into skateboarding, which I had to adapt to
So
work
I think it's
with
important
me.
to find something you love too.
Yeah. So if there's a passion that you have, and don't let people defeat you and your happiness. If they want to make judgments about you, then they can do that all day.
Hurt people hurt people.
Yep.
That's it.
And it's been crazy because some of these people that really have some mean things to say, I always say like, are you okay? Like,
That's what
we
I
love
say.
you, or like, I love you so and so. Like, I'll go find out what their name is, and these people will delete their comments.
Yes,
they
yes.
will feel bad.
I've even had the people go, "Oh, I didn't think you'd actually read that. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
yeah. And so, kill them with kindness
That's it.
and follow your dreams.
And sometimes you gotta go tell someone to go f yourself, eh?
Hey.
No, just kidding.
That's great. Well, you're a beautiful person. We're
Yes.
both very happy and lucky to have met you too. And your
Yeah.
story's wild. You made it out the other side.
I love shredding with you guys.
We
Shredding.
love you, Tia, and thanks for being so vulnerable and open and just talking about everything. I really think if one person in that type of situation or any situation hears it and it affects them, it's a win.
100%.
And I know you're gonna help a lot of people like you already do.
Work hard, play harder.
Let me know how much sperm you need. I'll send it over.
And he doesn't even need magazines.
Look at that.
No mags.
No mags.
Send me a free OnlyFans link.
Give us some. Have your wife do audio description. Audio description.
Yeah. All right, that was dope. Thank you.
Tia poses in the forest with her top off. Thank you so much, Tia.
Yeah.
Guys.
As always, keep pushing and
One love.
Keep pushing and one love from Four Bad Eyes.